Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Pop Culture News and Reviews. We're up to issue 70 now, so if you've joined us this whole time, hey, we're 70 episodes in and you know the deal. If not, welcome aboard. My name's Anthony. You're joined by Sevi at the moment. Sevi, man, how you going?
Yeah, good, mate, good.
Good. Zooming in from home today because we are still in lockdown here in Perth.
Yep.
We've been told that they lift tonight, I think. So,
thanks,
but
New
we'll
South
still
Wales.
be in lockdown a little bit. Oh, geez, it's always someone else's fault.
You know what's funny is Victoria's free. Like usually they're the ones that started all, but they're free. They're like, we're cool. We got no cases.
Yeah.
Like,
We did our lockdown a few weeks ago. We're all right now.
just dickheads.
Anyway, I know that lockdown affects different people different ways and everything, but here I was selfishly being like, man, I've got tickets to Black Widow next week. Like, I really hope the cinemas are open.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll be watching it from home, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that would have sucked.
Not for me. It's great for me.
Obviously, they definitely refund you. Obviously, I reckon, right? Surely.
Do you really want the money back? Because doesn't the money go to the cinema?
Actually.
And they sort of need the money, so let them have it.
Just keep it, guys. Just keep
You're
it.
A man who loves it. See, me personally, I'd probably get the refund because I'm like, give me my money. But as a man yourself who loves the cinema,
look, considering that I know for a fact that popcorn has like a 400% profit margin.
That seems.
I'd probably say to them, look, I keep the money, but I'd like some popcorn.
I'll tell you what, I went to Ace Cinemas. Went to Ace Cinemas in Rockingham. When was it the other week to watch A Quiet Place 2?
Yeah.
Some of the best popcorn I've ever had.
Yeah, actually, it's really good there, isn't it?
You know how each cinema,
that.
all the cinemas change their popcorn, which I don't know why. Why don't you just all buy from the same person? It'd be so much easier. But yeah, Ace Cinemas in Rockingham, so good, so good.
We're getting real like Perth centric on this pod apparently, but I don't like Belmont Reading Cinema. Their popcorn. I don't go there because they're popcorn. Like I like the cinema, but I don't like their popcorn.
I like Belmont's Gold Class.
And they don't do Coke there. They do like Pepsi and all those ones.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Belmont's Gold Class is like $22 or something like that.
Yeah, no, it's good. Well, actually we go to Hoyt Southlands now and they're pretty good, but
yeah, Hoyt's is always good.
All their cinemas are like the seatings are all lounges now.
Yeah, they've got the reclining chairs and that used to be ours when we lived in Bull Creek and then Canning Vale as well. Yeah. That was ours.
So it's pretty, and they'd literally just done that up then. Like I reckon it would have been about a year after, because no longer than 5 years since that's been done up.
Nah, it'd be longer it'd have to be longer than that because it was done up when we were in Bull Creek.
Yeah, man, 5 years.
We were in Bull Creek longer than 5 years ago, I think, wasn't it?
No, I wouldn't think so, man. But also like it's a case of they were doing one room at a time.
Oh, so maybe we always got lucky and went into the good one.
It took them a while to do them all.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But yeah. Anyway, that's enough Perth chat for us.
Come to Perth, guys. Come to Perth.
Incapacitated, man. You're laying down low as well, aren't you? So have you had time to watch something? You've been watching stuff. What's going on?
I've been watching everything. I've had
time. What have you been watching?
I've had time. Mate, I started watching, Clarkson's Farm on Amazon.
Oh, right. Yeah, with
Jeremy Clarkson.
Top Gear's,
Grand Tours. Jeremy Clarkson. Do not say Top Gear. He's not with Top Gear anymore. He got fired.
Well, he was.
That's
the fame.
Basically, he is Top Gear. Let's be real. It hasn't been the same since they left. So, and he created it. So, but no, it's so good. Such a good show. I highly recommend it. I went in there thinking, it's going to be Clarkson. It'll be funny, but yeah. And then I watched it. I'm like, this is great. This is great. This is a great show.
Like actually a good show. Yeah.
It's actually good. Like it blew me away. I'm like, wow. Wow. But no, really? So good.
So what's it about?
So good. Because he bought a farm back in, when was it, 2008, I think it was, if I remember correctly. And he had a guy from the town where the farm is would run it. Yeah. And he ended up ringing Clarkson, I think it was in like 2018. He rang Clarkson and said he was retiring, so he's going to have to get a different person to work the farm. And Clarkson goes, can't be that hard. I'll do it myself. Oh, dear. And turns out it is that hard. It's very hard to run a farm.
Who would have thought?
He's
Old
got
McDonald made it sound so easy.
Yeah. But no, it's really insightful.
It was really simple. There was a moo here, a moo there.
That's exactly what he said. He goes, you put seeds down. They the weather happens. They grow. You get food. It's that easy. It's not hard. It turns out, no, it is really hard. It's not easy.
Oh man.
So he went into it blind.
But before he went, he told Amazon, "Hey, come and film this."
Oh, and Amazon have gone money.
Yeah. Amazon's great like that lately. They're just like, hey, we're just going to send a camera crew to follow you around. We reckon it could be all right.
And it was.
What's that, AFL players? Here is a camera crew. They're going to follow you.
But no, it's so good. Such a good show. I highly recommend it to anyone who has Amazon.
Mate, well, I might have to give that a go now. I've taken time to actually start watching things. Like have you
finished
Stargirl? I
Stargirl?
checked to my missus. We were like, no, because I'm watching stuff with my missus now.
Have you started Resident Alien?
I have not.
Fuck's sake.
What I've started is a show called Lie to Me, which is quite an old show, actually.
That's old as the hills.
2008.
I watched that. Heads up, gets boring real quick.
You know what? I had that feeling.
It gets boring very quick because it's the same thing every episode. Yeah. Every episode's the same. It's like, okay, cool. NCIS, cool. Good job.
But I very much like Tim Roth.
Yeah. But no, the show sucks.
So I'm like, I'll watch Tim Roth. So that is one of the things I've been watching, but I'm getting that feel from it, man, already. I'm 2 episodes in and I'm like, how many tells could there be?
Yeah, that's right. Resident Alien, you sure. Like the people
No, I know, I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there. But I'm also, this is what my missus and I are actually doing. So, big fans of One Tree Hill when it was first out, right? The main actors from One Tree Hill are doing a rewatch podcast at the moment, where they're watching an episode a week and talking about stuff behind the scenes, all that kind of fun stuff. So listening to that, but also just watching one episode a week, like they're doing pretty much, so that we know what episode they're talking about, refreshes their memory, all that kind of fun stuff. What is interesting about this is that it's on the Channel 7 app. So you're getting like a minute and a half of adverts every...
You know there's good shows out there that you can watch, right?
7 minutes or so. Man, I like One Tree Hill. I know. But what's really funny about it is that it was obviously shot in a certain aspect ratio, right? For when it would have been 2000 and...
Have awesome fuzzy screen TV.
6. No, it looks good, right? But whatever they've done to make it look good, they've literally just widened the aspect ratio, but not the ratio. It was obviously shot in a way that you can see what's on the edges because you're seeing more now, right? To the point where we've so far seen possibly a boom operator or a grip just sitting in the background of a scene.
Mate, they were probably there in the normal scene, in the normal show.
Oh, man, I don't know.
Those shows are filmed quick, like it's... And back then, I don't think they really cared.
The other side of it was literally the sound, like the lighting screen. Like later on, like as they pan backwards, the other side, there's the lighting screen. I'm like, reckon we would have noticed that. Like that's...
You would think so.
Oh, man, that was hilarious though. Well, like this is hilarious. This is so good. But yeah, just hearing stories about how they were cast and everything like that, it's like really interesting because at that time, CW wasn't CW, it was Warner Brothers, sorry, was dominating like television at that time. Like they had Dawson's Creek, Charmed, I think OC.
Yeah, well, your teeny bopper shows.
Yeah, but all the ones that were doing like big business, you know? So
that was the CW before the CW existed.
They really were, man.
That was We Are the CW right there. And it had you hook, line and sinker.
Yeah, and just tapped into everyone being like, man, this is what life's supposed to be like. Like, it's not. It's a dramatization of life. But anyway, yeah, the basketball scenes always get me with Montreal. I just think it's cool, like the way they shot and everything. It's really well choreographed. Anyway, that's what I've been watching, man. Lots of weird stuff. Oh, and that MODOK. You know that MODOK animation?
Oh, is that it, is it?
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, right. Didn't even know it was there.
Yeah, well, it's on Disney Plus because I think it's part of that Stars.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so it's actually through that, that's how Lie to Me I found as well, because that was on there as well.
Yeah.
I was like, Abomination's going to be in Shang-Chi, so I wonder if it's going to be Tim Roth again. Oh, look, there's Tim Roth. That's exactly
Not only
how
that,
my mind worked.
What we didn't notice from that is Abomination's actually fighting Wong.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
Didn't notice that at all.
Yeah.
Clearly saw Abomination, didn't notice Wong there at all.
All right. Hey, let's go on this little tangent for Shang-Chi quickly.
He clearly did not make it to Tony's wedding, which is a shame.
Yeah. I wonder if that's going to be like a tournament for the 10 rings.
Why is Wong in it?
Because Doctor Strange would have been like, we need those 10 rings in the
Sanctum,
it's a
Sanctum
artifact.
Sanctorum or whatever it's called.
It's a mystical artifact that needs to be guarded and
Yeah.
not used for nefarious purposes.
That's a fair point.
So
You
go
might
on,
be onto
Wong,
something.
go get it. You can fight.
Yeah, Wong.
You know
Do
what I
your
mean?
job.
So like, and that's what I mean. Like, I reckon it's going to be like not Mortal Kombat, obviously, because ratings, but a toned down version of like a tournament. You know what I mean? Anyway,
Why is Abomination there then? What does he want with the 10 rings? Ross.
Power.
Ross?
Wants power.
Ross.
Wants to
Ross
take out
wants
Ross.
power. No, Ross wants power, so Ross has sent Abomination to get power.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Hey, think about it.
But there's a couple of people there who like most of the like super powered people that show up throughout the movie, their background ends up being like scenes that look like they're at that tournament as well or whatever that is.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's just like some random underground fighting ring. I think it's actually a tournament. Anyway, I don't know if we're right about that or not. That might be a spoiler. Sorry, guys. Here we are. Hey, let's jump into the news, man.
Where are we starting?
Should we just stay with movie news since we're just talking about movies there anyway?
Yeah, let's go for it.
We'll stay with it. So we're just talking about Shang-Chi, so we'll stay with Marvel news, may as well. And for that, we have Lego dropping the spoilers again.
They've done it again. They've done it again. Someone's got to put a hold on these guys because they're useless.
They're getting a bit carried away. And the thing about this one is I kind of understand when stuff was coming out, like Wonder Woman's leaks. That happened and you're like, okay, well, this was supposed to be out by now, you know? So for it to come out earlier, yeah, I understand. The Civil War one was huge when they dropped that Ant-Man was going to go Giant Man. Like that was a pretty big spoiler that they dropped there.
Yeah.
But this one, it's showing Spidey's new suit, surely.
Yeah. Well,
Because
a
it's
version
not
of a
just-
suit anyway.
It's not just the minifig. It's the art on the side of the box that you've got a legitimate, like, Tom Holland Spider-Man right there with the gold spider across his chest.
Yep.
So it really does look like a cross between his everyday suit and
The Iron Spider.
kind of the Iron Spider suit. It's really interesting. But if that's the one they're going with on the side of the boxes and stuff, then it seems like I reckon that's going to be the suit.
I don't like it.
Not a fan?
Not a fan. I was hoping they'd go just more traditional Spider-Man. I want him to pull away from the Iron Spider and the whole Tony Starkness of it, so he can become his own.
I just don't like. I don't know what the. I don't know what I'm looking for. What the relevance of the gold will be. You know, like it's got to be something to do with tech or something because you don't just go up with a giant fucking gold spider on me for no reason. Like it's weird.
Yeah.
But this little Lego set they've dropped though, looks like it's taking place in Doctor Strange's sanctum.
Yep.
So we did know that Doctor Strange was going to be in this, but now we definitely know he's going to be in this.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and the scene looks like it's depicting some kind of... Look, you're saying scorpion.
I reckon it's Scorpion. Yeah, I reckon.
It looks like a scorpion of some kind, but I'm calling it some kind of nightmare creature. Just because of the colors, Nightmare's a big villain. I've seen a cartoon before where Spider-Man goes into the sanctum and disturbs an artifact which releases Nightmare, essentially. And that's his color scheme, just the green and black. You know?
Yeah.
So,
which is also Scorpion as well.
Yeah, of course. But then we've got this little scorpion thing fighting Wong and what looks like Mary Jane in there as well. MJ, not Mary Jane. What was her name in it? Melissa, maybe? Michelle, sorry.
Michelle?
They called her Michelle. Yeah. But MJ running in there as well. So it looks like it could even be like, this could be like start of the movie, actually. If you think about it, if it picks up exactly where Far From Home left off, he's sitting on top of the light, listening to himself being outed on TV. He's in New York. MJ was right there with him. She was just swinging with him. Maybe he just goes straight to Doctor Strange.
Maybe. For help.
It says, hey, help, please.
Help, sir. Please help
Something's really gone wrong here.
I need you to help me, sir.
You do that while I put a gold spider on my chest.
Well, he's gonna need someone to help him have Spider-Man show up while Peter Parker's standing there. Because that way
I still think a Skrull could do that.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, a Skrull's just got to become Peter Parker.
I think the only little catch there is that Peter can't go to the Skrulls for help because he didn't know Nick Fury was a Skrull.
No.
Like, that was a reveal that happened after.
But I think Nick will be able to get in touch with everyone, or Doctor Strange will get in touch with everyone.
If he goes for help, you know, like it's... Yeah, I don't know.
Let's just say it's an easy thing for him to get out of.
Oh, it's a perfect solution, but it might be too perfect.
Too easy.
In that it would fix the problem too fast.
Yeah.
And then you don't have a problem for the movie anymore. You know what I mean?
But then everyone like us will be watching
It'll end up being a...
like, people like us that
It'll end up being a how it should have ended.
Yeah, but what I mean is people like us who watch it will just go, why didn't you just go and see them and get help? Yeah. Why drag it out and be dumb?
Yeah, pretty much. But, you know, they need plot and movie. And here we are. Kevin Feige says no. And, you know, he doesn't really get things wrong often. Speaking of Feige, he did have a little bit of an interview this week because he's doing press for obviously Black Widow's release and Loki, which is going great guns, where people have been asking him questions about
everything.
Yeah, well, of course, you know, what's happening with this, what's happening with this. One thing he did say is that Fantastic Four not happening soon.
There'll be no casting released anytime soon.
But, I mean, in saying that, we did get told about Fantastic Four probably about 6 months ago when they did that little screen thing and then said John Watts is going to direct Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Going on their time frame, though, they told us that Mahershala Ali was cast as Blade, I'm going to say about 3 years ago, maybe it feels like.
So if you've got Blade cast, where's the movie?
That's what I mean. It feels like so long ago that we got told Blade was happening and it's just nowhere to be seen. That being said, no spoilers here, but just in case, they did drop the word vampires on Loki.
Mate, if you're listening to this and you're not watching Loki, that's on you.
Yeah. Watch Loki, guys. Come on.
If you're not watching Loki, who are you and why are you here? That's more the
How did you get
That's
here?
more the thing. Like, why are you even here? Why do you listen to us?
How did you find us?
Yeah, why do you listen to us? Is it because you love us talking about Timothy Olyphant and Henry Cavill all the time? Like, I don't understand.
Probably.
My God.
I don't think we had any Timothy Olyphant or Henry Cavill news this week, so you putting them in there was the
Perfect segue.
That's the mention of them for this week.
Actually,
That
no,
was the
we do.
week.
We do have something. Henry did release. It might have been last week. I don't know, or the end towards the start of this week. We got the little teaser for Geralt that he put on his
Oh
socials.
yeah.
So that was pretty cool to see. Little flashes, little hints of what could happen.
Do we know when this is?
No, I don't know. We might have already. If we've
It's
already
obviously
reported on it,
post production now. We might have. You never know.
we can't remember half the time.
But yeah. Anyway, the last little bit of Kevin Feige info we got was just his little backhand to Alfred Molina, which when someone was asking a question, he said, "I don't know. Maybe ask Alfred Molina, who has dropped a bunch of information on Spider-Man that he wasn't supposed to." Little bit of a hey, Alfred, we're watching you.
Hey, Alfred, the
Good
snipers
message there.
have got you in their scope. Shut up, or you're going to get dropped.
And I don't think Alfred cares one bit.
No, he doesn't.
He's got no idea. He's like, I don't know what a Marvel movie
He's
is.
just an old dude
just
floating
acting.
around, and that's it.
Yeah, he's just having a good time.
Oh, you want to pay me millions of
the
dollars?
character.
Okay, cool.
He's working with Sam Raimi again. He's like, I don't see what's so different about last time. He's like, well, why is this? I did Spider-Man. I've done this before. This is old hat. Let me just do this again. Anyway, that's him. We also got a bit of news this week. I do want to jump to this one, that Spawn is still in the works. So we had a bit of information about this, I think, last year or a year before, that Blumhouse, Jason Blum, is working on Spawn. But we hadn't heard about anything since then. And the only things we had heard was that Todd McFarlane was trying to push his own Spawn movie.
Yeah, good job. Well done. How'd that go?
Yeah. But anyway, Jason Blum has said that they're still working on this. There's a lot of work. They're not happy with the script.
I think Jamie Foxx is still attached.
Yeah.
And you've got Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner.
So it could be good if they hurry.
They've got the actors.
Just go get Michael Jai White again.
He was
great.
He was really good. He was good enough for me to try and pretend to be Spawn when I was a kid after watching this. Like I tried to get I got a chain and I was messing around with it. I was like, I'm Spawn, definitely.
But speaking of Jamie Foxx, have you seen his socials lately? He's getting jacked.
Getting spawned up.
No.
Electro?
No. Mike Tyson.
Is he filming as Electro right
He's
now?
playing Mike Tyson in a biopic.
Oh, man. He's going to do his voice so
He already
well.
does. But no, he's getting... Because Mike Tyson, huge man. Like just a solid
Big man.
beef man. So Jamie wasn't that beef, but yeah, he's starting to bulk right out now. He's been eating some... lot of meat, I think. get that size.
Jeez. Oh,
A few kangaroo steaks.
Oh, God. All that protein. All right, what else do we have here? Oh, we got a bit of news here about talking about scripting. Old Guard 2. So we've been told that Old Guard 2 script is finished.
Good.
And they'll start filming next year.
I feel like I have to watch that movie again.
Me too.
Because it was quite good.
Yeah. I remember loving it, but I don't remember where all the pieces.
No, like I don't. Yeah, I don't quite remember where it all fits. I don't even remember how it ends. Like properly. So I'm gonna rewatch that again. I think.
Yeah, look, it's worth watching again.
Oh, 100%. And the missus hasn't watched it. I watched it by myself, so.
Yeah, I don't think mine did either.
So I might just sit down, force her, and watch it. Love this.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same. Definitely.
Sit down, shut up, and hang on.
Should we do it closer, though? Should we do it closer to when this movie's actually coming out?
Just watch it this weekend and then watch it
because
again.
we watched this... Well, this is the thing. We watched this less than 6 months ago.
You know what sucks is?
And I've forgotten the end.
You know what sucks is, though? That we're recording this now. A little bit of insider information. We're recording on a Friday.
Yeah. The weekend.
We could have watched Tomorrow War Tonight and done a review on it.
Could have.
Because it's out now.
We really could have. But we should give everyone a week anyway.
Nah.
I can give them a week to watch it.
Stuff. Give them nothing.
Well, the next week we'll be reviewing Black Widow.
Yeah, we might have too, because I think we're going to watch Tomorrow War Tonight. So we might have 2 one-shots 1 week. What do we got? We won't have Superman. We won't have Superman.
For another 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, where's Superman this week? And then I remembered our own podcast. I'm like, oh, it's not on. That's right. Duh. Maybe listen to our own words. It might work.
Thanks. Pop culture news and reviews.
Thanks, guys. You just did a great job.
Oh, man. Look, we'll keep going through the news, though, to keep
good.
doing our great job. I put Free Guy on here because we got something saying about it coming out on August 13th, but I think we've talked about that before.
Yeah, I think we already talked about that.
Just in case we didn't.
August 13th, guys.
Free Guy, August 13th. Put that away. Cinema release before.
I'm just going to say now, it's August 13th for now. This is probably one of the most pushed back movies other than Black Widow ever. So I wouldn't be surprised if it gets pushed again.
Yeah, who knows? Especially once Black Widow actually comes out, because then it solidly takes the title as most moved movie. Although June's doing a fair bit of work. Oh, no, Bond.
Yeah, Bond's been pushed a bit.
Hasn't Bond been shifted around a lot?
So is Mission Impossible as well.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's just filming, because that's not actually done. So I think that was just filming's been stop.
See, Bond's like in the can, isn't it? Like Bond's ready to go. It's just being shoved around.
Yeah. I still think Black Widow takes the cake, though. I don't think any movie's been moved more than that. Or delayed more than that, let's say.
Well, I don't know. Like, we'll find out. We'll work this out one day to be like, what movie got moved the most? June, I think, has been moved a fair bit.
Yeah, June did get moved a fair bit.
June's been pushed back a full year.
Did you see that? Did you see the trailer for that new Kate Beckinsale movie?
No.
Bolt. I think it's called Bolt. It's
right.
It looks really good. It looks really good. Bit of John Wick-ish cross.
Sevi recommend.
Yeah, it's good. I watched it just before we started recording. It actually got me. I'm like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool. Kind of cool.
All right. Well, I'm going to tangent on that. It's not the yet though.
Oh, here we go.
I know. You remind me of John Wick when you said it, and I was thinking of Kate Beckinsale, which then took me to think about when she was in Underworld.
Yeah.
It was, just kicking ass, all that kind of stuff. But John Wick took me back to Atomic Blonde. Remember that Charlize Theron one? Yeah. So that fighting style is what Sophie DiMartino, so the lady who plays Sylvie in Loki, based her fighting on.
Fair enough.
So she said Charlize Theron in Atomic Blonde is her kind of
spirit animal.
When she gets into those fight scenes, when she's walking into a fight, that's who she's got in her head.
Yeah, nice. There could be a lot worse. She's a badass, so
yeah. But it does also, like, every time Sylvie goes into a fight, she has this smirk to her face, like she wants to be doing that.
She likes to fight.
Yeah, you're like, okay, well, I see this. Yeah, this is great. Anyway, guys, that's another random Loki pop in, apparently, that we're going to have nothing to talk about in the Loki one shot. What a cooler. Hey, let's jump across to Aquaman quickly because their filming title's been released. So it's interesting they've got a filming title because we do know what the movie's title is now, which is Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Yeah, so why not put that? Maybe it's too much for the clapboard thing.
For the little clapper. No, it's supposed to be that working titles are supposed to be used so that paparazzi don't know
what they're filming,
what's being filmed there. But now everyone's putting them out on social media and stuff. It's not a secret anymore.
That photo, are we in the fortress? Because that looks like the Fortress of Solitude right there, I'm not going to lie.
It does, doesn't it? The title usually does have some kind of funny roundabout way tie into the movie.
Yep.
And this title was Necros, which, if you're talking about the Lost Kingdoms, Necros is a lost city in the DC universe.
Yep.
So I mean, I don't know if we're going to Necros or not, but there's a lot of characters based in that lore and everything. So maybe, but yeah, who knows?
I just want
what's
to see
gonna
Black
happen
Manta
there.
back.
But anyway, Necros.
That's all I want.
Yeah. Well, I saw an interview with him where he said that this movie's drawing on not a specific comic run, but they've taken a bunch of different iterations of Silver Age Black Manta,
Yeah, right.
like his most, and put it together to come up with his storyline or his arc in this movie. So that's, yeah, it should be interesting to see. We know Ocean Master's back as well. Or Patrick
Which would be
Wilson.
great.
He's great. So I don't know. I'm keen for this. We know Amber Heard's back as well. It's probably the least keen part of this.
Yeah, people are still trying to get her cancelled, so hey, it is what it is. But in other
Everyone
DC news, we have the Suicide Squad cast and Mr. James Gunn himself are going to be hosting what looks to be an episode of Wipeout.
Now, this was more exciting when I thought they were doing the Wipeout.
Yeah,
course.
I don't think they can, to be honest. I don't think they can because that's a lot of money if one gets hurt. I don't think the Wipeout...
Yeah, still.
I don't think Wipeout would have enough money to cover them for insurance.
Do you remember when Stephen Amell did American Ninja Warrior?
He would have signed a...
That was awesome.
He would have signed a waiver and all
Oh,
that.
definitely. Yeah, 100%. Oh, man, I would love to see some of this. Anyway, we get to see... It looks like John Cena's dove right into hosting it.
He's
though.
not giving the suit back.
Like, he's doing like... No, he's going to wear that suit forever.
He
I reckon.
loves it. And I'm not going to lie, even on like a shoddy TV camera, it looks good. Like,
Yeah,
it looks
and
good.
it shouldn't work. It doesn't look like a suit that should
No,
work
it shouldn't.
in real life.
And he just...
But it looks
he
great.
pulls it off. Like, those gloves, they should not
man.
work. But how? It does.
Yeah, nothing about that. Even the helmet, nothing about that suit
No.
works, but it looks amazing.
It
So
works, but
well
it doesn't
done
work.
to everyone involved because that's amazing. Hey, we got a little bit of Tarantino news this week.
Yeah, we did.
Didn't we?
We did.
He's been out and about. So the first thing we've got is that he'd be interested in doing a Kill Bill 2.
3.
With 3 with Maya Hawke.
Yeah.
Who is the daughter of Ethan Hawke and
Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman, whose name I just blanked on. I was thinking Charlize Theron, and I'm like, no, that's not
That's
right.
not right.
Maya Hawke, if people are or have seen Stranger Things, they would have seen her in the latest season of Stranger Things. She works in the ice cream shop with one of the main characters, and she gets very involved in the storyline and everything. She's a very good actress. She's also done a movie recently, which I completely blanked on, but she's very good anyway. So Maya Hawke, keep an eye on her. Tarantino also has a little bit of advice for people who are criticizing his take on Bruce Lee.
Yes.
What was that advice?
He basically, he's come out and said it was on the Joe Rogan Experience, and because they were talking about it, he's like, I can understand this is straight from him. I can understand his daughter having a problem with it. It's her fucking father. Everyone else, go suck a dick. He's basically come out and said that Bruce Lee was, he apparently, from what Tarantino saw, not from what other people said. Other people said Bruce Lee was very respectful to people below him, and including stuntmen. But from what Tarantino saw when Bruce Lee was around him, was that he thought very low of American stuntmen, and that they were like low. Like he apparently showed a lot of disrespect for them and to them. So I don't think Tarantino really liked Bruce that much.
And that obviously came
That's
across.
come across. It's come out, and yeah, because he's getting a bit of hate for the whole Brad Pitt basically beaten up Bruce Lee, and you've got all these diehard Bruce Lee fans who think Bruce Lee was unstoppable, are not happy about it. And that's what he said. He goes, Brad Pitt beat him.
I can't believe people on the internet aren't
because
happy.
he tricked
It's
him.
Weird.
Basically, that's how he won. He tricked him into winning. So, but it is what it is.
Anyway, we got some more movie news as well, by the way. Just want to jump in on this one. Anchorman 3. So I didn't even know this was in like anything to do. This was happening.
It's not.
This is David
Koechner.
David Koechner
Has come out.
So he's pretty famous.
Yes, he plays. What was his name?
Champ.
That's right, Champ. Cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Funny as hell.
Yeah.
He's basically.
He was also in The Office as what was his name? He was really funny, like jerk.
He's just
He was an
awesome.
absolute jerk. He was so good.
He's really good. But basically, they've asked him about it, and he's like, "Yeah, well," he goes, "It took 11 years between the first and the second one, so maybe 11 years between the second and the third. We'll see." So, fair enough. Hey, I don't think, but also
we'll see how it goes.
Steve Carell has jumped on board with it as well.
Well, this was back in 2018. Carell said
he's keen to do it. So,
another one.
Guys,
must be a big fan of playing.
Will
Brick.
Ferrell sorted out.
Look, Will Ferrell will be sitting there one day and he'll say, "I could use another paycheck," and then
He's doing it. He just finished a movie now. I can't remember what it is, but he's just finished doing another movie for something now. I can't remember what it is though. But anyway, I've got more news on news that we spoke about last week.
Ooh,
if you would like to hear it.
Oh, of course.
It's that.
Can you imagine if I said no? That'd be really weird.
Well, you seem to fall in love with the Optimus Primal. So he's getting
Beast Boy.
He's getting voiced.
He
Mr.
is.
Ron Perlman himself is coming to voice him.
Look, Ron Perlman's voice it's got like something to it that you're like, yeah, okay, I can see that.
I was going to say, don't say anything bad about his voice because he voiced Deathstroke. So
No. I know.
Words you choose.
What I'm saying is that he's got a voice that you're like, yeah, that can be a character's voice. You know, I'm interested to hear what that sounds like.
It's the sort of voice you want for a strong character.
Yeah. All that said, Gary Chalk is the original voice from Beast Wars, but he's done so much work. And you've already got Peter Cullen doing Optimus in this movie.
Yeah.
When you can't get Peter Cullen, you get Gary Chalk.
Yeah.
And
that's
it
right.
would have been great to have them both together. You know what I mean?
It would have been. But I'm happy with Ron Perlman.
Yeah, of course. Like Ron
He's
Perlman
Hellboy.
is a solid actor and does have a great character voice. So still looking forward to that. But I feel like his voice can come across as surly a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's my only if I was like casting him, I'd be like, all right, I see you more as like an Ironhide kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I see that.
I think he'd be a real good Ironhide or like,
Yep.
because he's got that real like John Goodman voice as well. Remember the voice that John Goodman did in Transformers?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the Ron Perlman character I see. So I don't know what he's going to do for Optimus, but I don't get like super strict authority from Ron Perlman. I get, I'm pissed off at you, so listen to me. Authority
That's
from
all it will be because he's a giant ape.
But Optimus Primal wasn't that. He stuffed up a lot. Like Optimus Primal was very like almost learning how to be a leader. He didn't have that reverence about him.
Well, I mean, that in turn will suit him very well then.
Could do, but yeah. Anyway, all right,
we got one. We have one more final bit of movie news.
Yep, before moving on to TV news, yeah.
And that is Mrs. Doubtfire. Her costume just sold.
It did.
The old burnt when she burns herself at the stove.
Yeah. With
That costume
and then
sold?
puts out the fire on her boobs, yeah?
Yep, for $27,645.
Does it say who bought it?
No,
I wonder if his daughter bid on it.
maybe.
But she's like, I've got enough stuff for me and probably she'd have
Oh yeah.
she'd have a bunch of stuff that Robin Williams has stolen from sets over the years.
Now another thing I found out when I was looking at this, I found out something else, is that Indiana Jones's hat sold at auction.
Oh wow.
Have a guess how much for? Judging that this costume sold for $27,645. What do you think
look,
Indy's hat went for?
His hat's iconic. I'm putting it at 800,000.
No, lower.
Lower, okay. So
Lower.
could you buy a house with it instead?
It's almost what I paid for my house.
Wow. Now I don't know if we should say that on air.
Well, it doesn't really matter because it was 300 grand.
Wow, someone paid 300 grand for a hat.
$300,000 for a hat.
You must be a
Just because it
really
was
big
worn.
Indiana Jones fan, right?
by Harrison Ford.
And the other side of it is that, like, yeah, it'd only be one of those hats, you know, because as far as costume departments goes,
there'd be several.
No, I mean, it's one of the hats.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant it's a one-off,
You know?
like a one-off hat.
Yeah, no, they'd have like costume departments would have like so many of them, and like, oh, he's doing a stunt, it has to get wet. We need this many. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, this needs to look wet, so we're gonna just
like
paint it a little
there'd
bit.
be
So it
no
looks wet.
guarantees that actual hat was one that was used on the set. It could have been at the set.
It was in the movie, but it might not have even been worn by Harrison Ford.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it was in a giant box of hats that they bought where they were like, we'll just get 40 of these hats. And this dude's paid $300,000 for it.
Yeah.
My God. Just like maybe just hoping that a bit of Harrison Ford's hair's in there so that he can clone him and start filming
why
his
not?
own. Yeah.
That'd be mad.
And realize it just belongs to the costume dude who decided to wear the hat for a day.
Or the auctioneer who tried it on before they sold it.
They're like, I don't know this guy. The 300 grand was
Ended
a
up cloning
waste.
the wrong person.
Anyway, what else do we have? We did have one more bit of movie news actually that you skipped over because you're not interested in it, but I am, so I'm bringing us back to it. It's Nick Hoffman has been cast in A League of Their Own.
Oh, that's right.
Tom Hanks's role. So A League of Their Own, if people don't remember, had Gina Davis and Tom Hanks. I think it might have also had Brittany Murphy.
So with Nick Offerman doing it, it's going to go from a serious movie to a piss take.
Well, I don't know what they're like, because the original movie was a comedy anyway. Like, he was playing a very much like he was playing a straight man, but it was like there was humor there. There was humor and there was heart in the original movie. For people who don't remember, the original movie is about the baseball league in America starting a women's division so that people can watch baseball while all the men went to war. So it's that they just went and had to like recruit these women to play. And then you see while they're trying to learn how to play baseball, they bring in an actual ex-pro baseballer to coach them, and that's Tom Hanks.
Yeah, okay.
And he's kind of like, girls can't play baseball kind of thing, but I'm going to try and get you to look the part. But the girls are taking it serious. They're trying to make them play in skirts and like boost ratings and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really interesting
and then he falls in love with them.
Well, it's more like a Mighty Ducks thing. You know, he's like, oh, you know.
Yeah, he falls in love with the team.
Yeah, of course, you know.
Yeah.
So it's got that kind of thing to it. It's a decent movie, but then you also got the backdrop of like World War II happening at the same time. I think it was World War II. So some of these women, like, their partners are dying in the war while they're doing this, and they get the news that their partners died and they just break down or whatever, you know. So like there's real world stakes that keep on jumping into this movie that you're like, oh man, that's messed up.
I feel like Tom Hanks movies shouldn't be redone.
Yeah.
I feel like his movies are that good they should stand alone.
He's always so good too.
I mean, am I wrong?
No, that was my issue with Turner and the Hooch. Like, I know it's like supposed to be a sequel, whatever, or a carry on.
It's like there's a lot of movies that you can remake because they're just popcorn action movies. But
didn't they redo?
There's
Big
a lot
as
of
well?
movies that, huh?
Didn't they redo Big?
I don't think so.
I think they might have.
Maybe.
And
but
like
I mean, who
gender
knows? Half the
swapped it and
things that Tom
stuff,
Hanks
and
has
like-
done could also be remade as well that we just don't know about because we're not old enough to know the originals.
Yeah, but he did it perfect, so stop. It's like the old thing of like,
That's a fair point.
there's a bunch of people saying, you know, eventually they're going to redo Harry Potter, and I'm like, no, do they have to? Like, it's
Yes, they do.
they did it. It's fine.
Nah, redo it.
Redo everything. Or Lord of the Rings. There is no reason to ever redo Lord of the Rings. Like, you nailed it. It's good. Don't redo
Yeah,
it.
no, you could. You could. And that's
Condense
because
it
of
into one movie.
that and
We'll call it
CGI.
Lord of the Ring and the Cliff Notes. No, just update
but I mean,
the
like-
CGI they used. It'll be fine. Like, just
You
remaster
can't
it.
do that. It'd be dodgy.
No, there's no need to. Like, honestly, I don't think you even need to change the CGI because the CGI wasn't bad.
I'm starting a petition. Redo Lord of the Rings now.
No.
Just do it.
But that does
I'm
lead us
starting a
into our
petition.
first bit of TV news, which is that the Amazon Lord of the Rings series has added more cast members to it.
See? Redo that too.
Redo something they haven't done yet.
Before it's even out, just recast it. Done.
Redo it all. Okay, so according to the Hollywood Reporter, joining the cast we have Charles Edwards.
Who do
He's
we have?
from Downton Abbey and The Crown.
Okay.
I don't know him. Will Fletcher
No, me either.
from The Girl Who
Who?
Fell. I don't know either of those things.
Yep, cool.
Emily Childvillas.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Who's that?
And Bo Cassidy. All right.
And who's that?
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
I know none of these people. Awesome. We're doing well. That's as far as we're going.
Sounds like a great TV show. I look forward to watching it.
You know what? I'm actually on board for that. I don't want to know who people are when I'm watching Lord of the Rings. I want to know them as the character.
I feel like this show doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, but that's because you don't care about Lord of the Rings.
No. I feel like it's been and gone. This type of. Although then you've got The Witcher that sort of fits into this as well, and I do like that. So
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong, but
Dude, medieval
it
stuff
just seems
will
too
always
Game
be
of
good.
Thrones for me. Like it just. I mean, that whole era of TV has been and gone. It's done. I feel like now people are trying to catch up and be what Game of Thrones was, but you're not gonna. If you know what I mean.
Nah, I strongly disagree.
Yeah, hey, that's why we do this show.
I think that as long as it's done well, it's worth doing.
So you're just keen for everything.
Yes. That's not true.
But yet you still don't watch Resident Alien. You don't do anything you're supposed to do.
Look, it's not true that
Unbelievable.
I'm keen for anything because I just sat here and said I hope they didn't redo Big. And I'm also not sold
That is a
on
fair point.
Turner and Hooch getting that. And I said I don't want them to redo Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. I want new stuff. You know, so this is new. Like, I mean, it's based on a book, but it's a book that hasn't been done. You know, and a book I haven't read because Lord of the Rings is really hard to read, man. Like, it is so hard to read. I have full respect to anyone who's listening to this right now who can put their hand up and say, I read the Silmarillion. Congratulations. You have much more willpower than me.
I think this is just more the fact for me that I never got into it to begin with.
Yeah.
So it is sort of I just don't care. Like I honestly don't. Like hey, I might watch it. I might give it the 3-episode treatment. If it hooks me, it hooks me. If it doesn't, well.
See, we rewatch
Oh, well.
Lord of the Ring once a year. Like the full Lord
Yeah,
of the
see, I
Rings.
couldn't do that. We tried. I watched it when it first came out, and then me and the missus tried to we tried to watch them. Well, when was it? Last year sometime. And we got through half of the second one. And I'm like, this is boring.
The
No, we
second one?
paused it. We paused it. We just never went back.
The second one.
Yeah, we watched the first one and then got halfway through the second. We're just like, we
man.
paused it for some reason and just never went back and watched it.
The
It's
second
like, hey,
one's the
cool.
best one.
Yeah, I don't know. I find it boring.
The first one was a bit boring
they're
because it's all set up.
They're just
But the second one's where
boring.
it gets into stuff and stuff starts happening. Anyway, what else do we have here on TV news? Let's jump into it, man. Dexter. Did you watch Dexter?
No.
No.
No, I didn't.
I didn't finish watching Dexter.
No, I actually did. I watched, I think I gave it the 3-episode treatment. And this was before I even knew about a 3-episode treatment.
This is the basis of 3-episode treatment. This is the 3-episode treatment theory's origin story.
Yeah, basically. And I'm like, I don't know. It was boring.
I enjoyed Dexter. I really
It was just villain of the week sort of thing, but it was the opposite of villain of the week because he was the villain of the week.
Okay, see, I honestly believe that
if that makes sense.
I honestly believe, man, that if you actually watched the first season of Dexter, you would enjoy it.
And I'm not a fan of the guy who plays Dexter.
Michael C. Hall.
I'm not a fan of him.
When this was out, I thought he could have been a good Daredevil. I thought he could have been a really good Matt Murdock.
He was in that movie, was it Gamer? Yeah. With Gerard Butler?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't like him. Not a fan.
Fair enough.
Don't rate him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something about him just...
Look, that's where we're at. I watched the first, I think, 4 seasons of Dexter, possibly. And I loved it. It was one of my favorite shows.
How many seasons is there?
I think 7 from memory.
So why didn't you finish it?
Okay, so what happened was...
Oh, here we go. I'm sorry, guys, I asked the wrong question.
Something happened in it. Oh, look, it's been out for ages, so if you haven't seen it...
Oh, you did a Viking, like I did the Vikings. Something happened you didn't agree with, so you...
I stopped watching.
Yeah, that's what I did to Vikings. The exact same thing.
Yeah.
100%. I saved you the spoiler. You don't have to spoil it for people that haven't seen it.
That's right.
I did the same thing.
Something happened and it fundamentally changes a character for me in everything they've done. And I said, that is out of character and that is done for, like, that is not good writing. I just didn't
mine was just someone died and I'm like, oh, I don't need to watch that.
No, mine just felt like, I was like, no, I don't like where this is going. It was also the subject matter that they went into. I was like, no, I don't want to watch this. Like,
fair enough.
I don't want to watch this, you know. And before that, it was a dude killing people, and I'm like, yeah, I'll watch this. But then they went to this level, and I'm like, I'm not interested in watching this. So anyway, something I was interested in watching though was the 3rd season. They brought John Lithgow into it, and John Lithgow is one of my favorite actors. I've said that.
He's a goated TV actor.
Yeah. Dude, even his movies.
I wouldn't say. Come on. Yeah, he does.
Cliffhanger.
But he's a goated TV actor.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
He's not a massive movie actor. He could hold his own with some people, and you just said cliffhanger. It's like you've got to hold your own against Stallone. It's not hard.
But he was so good. He was so good in Cliffhanger. And he was Lord Farquaad in Shrek. His voice was so good.
Animated.
That was so good.
It was good.
But John Lithgow is incredible. Actually, he was in... Oh my gosh, what was it? It was like 40-Year-Old Virgin, one of those Judd Apatow movies that was in that kind of... You know how he had that real shared universe that he built? And it was like 40-Year-Old Virgin... This is 40. The one with, I think it was This is 40. I think it was that. Yes, 100% was. Okay, it was the movie This is 40, which was a, not sequel, but like took the characters from that movie with Jared Butler and, not Jared Butler, sorry, Seth Rogen and the lady from Grey's Anatomy. Whose name I can't remember.
Oh yeah.
Not a massive fan of her, but they had that movie.
No, I don't think anyone is.
Where she got pregnant.
Hey, well, he was in I forgot he was in The Accountant.
Oh, he was so good in The Accountant. That was with.
I'm just flicking through. Oh, he was in Interstellar as well. Forgot about that. He was too.
Anyway, in This Is 40, he plays like this father who they track down to be like, you know, they're kind of estranged and stuff, and he just gets left with his grandkids that he didn't know existed up until like a couple of weeks earlier. Like, because of an emergency, and he's like, I don't know what to do with these kids. Like, it's so good because he's so funny, but he's such a great actor. Anyway, John Lithgow, guys. In Dexter, he plays, I'm pretty sure he played a serial killer. But he played
the Trinity Killer.
Yeah, he played such a good bad guy.
Arthur Mitchell.
because he's so charismatic. Everything he does, you're just like, I want to love him.
You know who I put in the same league as him? And I've forgotten his name, and I don't know why, but he plays Ultron in Avengers.
James Spader.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very similar. Very
Yeah,
similar. I want to see him play father
similar.
and son.
Oh my gosh, yes. I'd watch that. Anyway, the reason we're talking about this is because Dexter is getting a revival series, apparently. So I'm not sure exactly what a revival series is, but hey, I'm going to look into it because if it picks up and runs away with before the point of me watching and stopping watching happens, then I might be interested.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm pretty sure John Lithgow's character dies.
He died in the season finale.
Yeah. So I'm
Spoiler
not
alert.
sure how he's going to be in this, but I'm going to watch it because it obviously means it's set before he dies. So
Are you sure?
It'd have to be, or if he didn't die. But
Or he did die and he's just a voice that, because it was at the end, so it could be a voice that old mate's hearing. And he's popping up and talking to him, but he's not really there because he's losing his mind.
Maybe. I don't know. I need more
Yeah.
information on this, but I might be interested, and it might make me go back and watch the first couple of seasons of Dexter because they were really good, especially
Just
when
go watch Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh, but when Jonathan, oh man, that was so good. That was such a good TV show. Like that's underrated TV show. That is.
I don't like what's his name.
Oh, here we go.
Who was who? Huh?
You talking about the dude that's always squinty?
No, the main character in it, the kid.
Oh, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Is that who it was?
Wasn't it?
Am I thinking of something else?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Hang on.
Guys, this is what happens when we do this over Zoom. Sammy and I can't pick up each other's facial. Like, usually we're a lot better in being in each other's heads when we're staring at each other, I think.
Oh, it is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That's not who I was thinking. I'm thinking of a wrong person. Who was the guy out of Predators? Who was the crazy stab doctor
Not sure.
on the planet? You know the planet?
No.
Oh, I'm getting Joseph. See, I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I'm getting him confused with All right, I'm gonna look this up because this is annoying me now that I don't know who I'm thinking of, and it's really starting to get to me.
Look, man, while you do that, I'm going to jump across to, because you just mentioned Predators, so perfect.
Topher Grace.
Topher Grace. Ah, well, you should have said
I
Venom.
don't
man.
like Topher Grace.
You should have said Venom.
I don't like Topher Grace. I think I've deleted that movie out of my head. Hasn't every Spider-Man fan deleted that movie out of their head?
No. It's
I thought
not
they had.
the worst. Oh, it wasn't good.
You want to take that back? You want to finish that sentence?
I do.
Finish it. Go on, finish that sentence. I dare you. Finish it.
It's not the
You
worst
can't, 'cause
film
you know it's a
ever
lie.
made. It's not the worst film ever made.
Yeah, now go say what you were going to say before that.
Nah, I'm sticking with that.
It's not the worst Spider-Man film ever made.
It wouldn't
Yes,
be.
it is.
No, it wouldn't be. Because they had that one in the 90s where their effects was literally
better.
like opening a window and telling
was
a
better.
dude to swing out.
That was better. Japanese Spider-Man was better.
Oh, with his like lion sword.
I'm not
warrior.
wrong.
Oh, man.
I'm not wrong.
Anyway, Noah Hawley.
Back to your segue.
Noah Hawley is running the Alien TV show series that they're going to be doing.
Didn't even know we were getting one, to be honest.
But we are. And says it's going to be set in a world that Ridley Scott created, which is as it should
Fair
be.
enough. As it should be,
you'd
yes.
assume
It'd be
so.
weird if it wasn't.
Says it will not feature Ripley. So Sigourney Weaver will not be.
Does it have? Does it have to?
I don't know. What did she end up doing at the end?
Like 8 of them.
What?
She did like 8 of them, I think, didn't she?
Yeah. So he says.
She doesn't need to do any more. It's
Ripley's
fine.
one of the great characters of all time, and I think the story has been
Yes, I'll
told
agree with that.
pretty perfectly. I don't
Yep.
want to mess with it. It's a story that's set on Earth as well. The alien stories are
Ooh.
always trapped trapped in a prison, trapped in a spaceship. I thought it'd be interesting to open it up a little bit. So what if the stakes were, what happens if you can't contain it? It's more immediate.
I'll answer that. It's called Alien versus Predator Requiem, and they drop a nuke on a whole town.
Yeah.
That's how you control that. That's how the government would control that.
Yeah.
They send out a radio signal, get everyone to the center of town. All the aliens then rush to the center of town. Then they nuke said center of town. Aliens are dead. We win. Done.
Alien 3, was that the one in the prison?
I don't remember because I don't think I've seen them.
Right.
Like I never got in. I was Predator, not Alien.
Yeah.
So I never got into the alien. I thought the aliens bore me. They're just dogs. Like the aliens are literally just dogs.
Yeah.
That's all they are.
I like dogs.
You're getting hunted by space dogs.
I'm a big fan of dogs.
They're not. Yeah, exactly. So you should be crying every time you see an alien die because they're just space dogs.
And I do feel sorry for them.
Where Predators they got a lot more. They're a lot more to a character.
Fair enough. Hey, we got a little bit of casting rumor, I think, for the Green Lantern series, where they're saying.
I was wondering where you were going there because we've got 2 left, and I was wondering which one you were choosing between. Then
found their Sinestro. So Tobias Menzies is apparently who they're tapping for this one. That's who they're in talk with. Now, Tobias Menzies, for those who need to get his head in their face, he's been in The Crown. He was in Outlander. Probably for our audience, you'd remember him from Game of Thrones, where he played Edmund Tully. Edmund Tully was Catherine Stark's brother, the one who tried to take over ends up marrying a Frey, gets held hostage by them, ends up sitting on the council at the end as well. Do you remember that? Or have you just completely blocked out the last season? Yeah, he does.
I've just completely blocked it. I've just treated that last season as those last 2 episodes of Lucifer.
He no. I'm going to refresh your memory. He's the one that Sansa shuts down.
Do you have to?
Yeah, shuts down during the meeting that they're having, where they're trying to find out who's they're going to have to be the king, and it's before they say Bran. Edmund's like, well, I think I could be. Like, I don't see why not. And she's like, you hid during all of this.
Yeah, good. That's what a king does. Is that not what a king does? You hide, you let everyone else do the work, and then you come out and go, we won. Sorted. I don't see a problem.
Good job, team.
It would have been better than Bran.
It's the old, we're going back to John Lithgow, Lord Farquaad quote of, some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
That's right. The only thing that could have saved, the one thing that could have saved that whole end season of Game of Thrones is at that end, when it zoomed into Bran's face and his eyes turned blue. That would have been it. Like that's it. That's your end. It's a cliffhanger. You're ending the series with a cliffhanger. His eyes glaze over blue like the Ice King, and that's it.
No, see, I still would have been...
Perfect.
I still would have been upset about that. And we haven't done much talking about Game of Thrones, but the fact that they just left so many threads, just like, why did that ever come up? Like, what's the deal with...
Mate, I think we have done a lot of talking about Game of Thrones.
What's the deal with the patterns that the White Walkers were doing all the way?
Who cares? Clearly.
There was a reason. Why were they doing that?
Mate,
why were you showing it?
A 12-year-old girl killed the Ice King. How did that happen?
And didn't need to ever use that face-swapping technology that she learnt.
She done a nice little Bucky Barnes knife drop and killed him. It's like, oh, okay.
Whole face swap ability, but never used it.
Yeah, what was the point?
Never used it. Anyway.
What was the point? There was no point. The show sucked.
Oh, man. Okay, anyway.
Let's
breathe deep and get into a show.
But anyway, with him coming across, he'll be joining the cast of Finn Wittrock as Guy Gardner, Jeremy Irvine as Alan Scott, and there's talks that there may also be Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz showing up, as well as a new Lantern who goes by the name of Bree Jarta. So that could be good. We're getting a lot of Lanterns, hopefully. And I'm 100% okay with it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'll watch this show.
Yeah. Well, definitely, I'll give it a 3-episode treatment. Look, let's jump to a show that we are pretty confident isn't going to bomb. And
No, I'm not watching it. Sounds like it's going to suck.
yeah, of course, because everything Marvel has done so far.
Mate, everything they do is just rinse and repeat crap.
Yeah, of course. Especially TV series Rise, right? Like
I couldn't say that with a straight face.
Wanda
I just could
is
not
the
say that with a
exact
straight
same
face.
as Falcon and Winter Soldier. And now Loki, we know where that's going. Mephisto's going to show up.
Falcon the Winter Soldier sucked. Worst TV show I've ever watched. Loki's just garbage. Just getting lost through the whole thing, not knowing what's going on, who's who.
Anyway, the next one, or one of the next ones we've got off the ranks, are Secret Invasion. So Secret Invasion, we know that Samuel L. Jackson's back in this. We know that Ben Mendelsohn's in this.
Do we know how big this show is going to be?
Well,
as in the lines of how many episodes? Like, what are we getting here?
Okay. I'm guessing it's going to be 6 again.
It has to be bigger. It has to be.
You think so, right?
Because this is Secret Invasion's huge. That's a massive thing to tackle.
I know. It's huge. But this is the...
I feel like this has got to be like $1 billion TV. This show would have to set a record for most expensive TV show, I
Just with the
reckon.
actors they got, man.
Yeah.
Anyway...
just with Samuel L. Jackson.
Christopher McDonald has been announced in a role. He's broken his silence on being announced in that role. So
Who?
Christopher McDonald, if you don't remember, is
Who's that?
Shooter McGavin.
Thank you. Say his name properly.
Shooter from Happy Gilmore, of course. Absolute legend. He's told the story of how he got told he was cast. So we'll go through this. He goes, "It was a really fun phone call. My agent and my manager got together and they called me and said, 'Chris, you're sitting down.' And I said, 'I'm in my car. I'm driving home.' They said, 'Yeah, you might want to pull over.' I was like, 'Oh, what's happening?' They said, 'No, it's good. Just pull over.' And then they tell me this whole offer that comes in to join the MCU. And I'm like, wow, this is only something that I've been praying for because it's the number one thing that comes out of Hollywood right now."
He's basically gone. He would have rang his wife after this and gone, "Babe,
Get a new house.
we're living good.
Get the new house.
We're living good."
He goes, Kevin Feige just kills it. It's spectacular. 23 movies they're in now, and the television shows with WandaVision and Loki. It's an actor's dream. So I'm going to come to London.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I know.
What the hell?
I'm going to come to London and make this thing happen in a month's time. I think a month
him.
and a half time, I'll be there doing it. So he's joining other actors there. We've been announced, which are Emilia Clarke, obviously, from Game of Thrones.
Old Little Miss Eyebrows.
Olivia Colman, who was in The Crown. Kingsley
Don't know who that
Benadir,
is.
One Night in Miami.
Don't know who that is.
Killian Scott from Love Hate. Carmen Ejogo from Fantastic Beasts. We've got a pretty big cast here. Now, McDonald's gone on
And
to
the cool
say,
thing is you got Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn coming back as well.
oh, of course, yeah.
We just spoke about Samuel L. Jackson, but yeah, Mendelsohn's back too.
Now, the big rumor
There's
about
Talos.
McDonald is that people are saying that he could be playing Osborn.
I'm keen.
Now, the reason why people are saying he could be playing Osborn, though, is because in the Secret Invasion comic story, Osborn saves the day. The other heroes do, but Osborn's right there with the camera filming him as he kills the big bad. So that's how he...
Now, hang on a minute. Would Sony allow this?
I don't know.
That's the
I
question.
don't know how the rights are tied up.
Yeah. Because he's a Spider-Man villain. He's Spider-Man.
It's not
That's Sony.
just Spider-Man, though. Just like WandaVision, Wanda wasn't just an X-Men.
Yeah, but what I mean is, if they cast him as Osborn, are Sony going to go, yeah, okay, we'll accept that? Or will they go, well, no, we're going to cast our own
Yeah, or
Osborn?
will they say, no,
And then
we're
it'll
going to
be
cast
awkward.
Evan Peters? You know, like the whole back and forth that they had with Quicksilver's.
Yeah, that was dirt.
You know, so who knows what's happening there, but Chris McDonald is pretty much learnt from everyone that you don't talk about anything. So don't expect anything from Christopher McDonald on what he's doing.
On that though, they can't do the same thing they did with Quicksilver's. Because you've got Spider-Man. Tom Holland is doing both.
Yeah.
So it has to be the same Norman Osborn.
Yeah, you'd assume so.
They can't Sony can't go, you know what, no, we're going to have our own Norman. That wouldn't make sense. And that'd ruin everything.
So it could just end up being like a character loan situation where, you know, they profit from toys or whatever, a certain percentage, all that kind of stuff. Look, it's all the boring backroom stuff that we don't really care about. We care more about...
Foggy's just gone, here's a bunch of money, we're going to do what we want, shut up.
And Sony, though, is putting their foot down usually and saying, actually, no, we're doing what we want if you want to play with Spider-Man.
They're pretty good at that.
Yeah.
They're not going to get pushed around by the bullies.
Mate, they almost took their toys and left the other day, or the other year. Was it?
Yeah, I know.
A month. December, wasn't it? Yeah.
They're like, no, we're out.
Yeah. So renegotiations had to happen. All right. Anyway, that's us, man. That's us done.
That's it.
Guys, that's all the news we have to talk about. If we missed anything, is there anything you want us to talk about? Anything you want our opinions on? All that kind of fun stuff. Hit us up on the socials. You can find us on under our name. Everywhere. We are everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, obviously through the channels that you went to find this in the first place. But hey, get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Cheers for joining us. Seven man.
Thanks, guys.
Always a pleasure.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It's lovely to be here. Bye.